grabs the shotgun and he gives away because they did not know that there was a weapon in the house. Otherwise, they would have already taken it.
Yeah.
You know, when they've been inside, they move like the smoke detector, they take the cell phones and throw it in the fireplace. They were inside and they had done some investigating, but they did not know about that weapon until he fires it at him when he's outside of the door. During that axe scene, he fires it, so they're like, okay, they have a weapon. So then he basically sets up the friend like, oh, I could kill him at any time, but let him make it into the house, and then they're going to do it for me. Because he knew that they were waiting for them to go inside the room, and they had a weapon, you know. But instead, what they should have done, even if they did kill the friend, they should have waited there until daytime, regardless, because they're not coming in anyway, you know. They try to rush them with the axe, they try to rush them with anything, they're going to get they're going to get hurt. Mm-hmm. Even if they're not killed, they're going to get hurt, right?
Yeah.
I think from a survival standpoint, they should have stayed in that corner room where nothing could really get to them, you know? But instead, he's like, I don't know what to do. There's a CB radio in the barn, in the dark-ass forest out there. Mm-hmm. You stay here and find some place to hide, and I'm gonna go to the CB radio. And he definitely does not. He gets picked off real quick. He's waiting. I see there's already the pinup girl, the other girl with the mask, is already out there kind of scouting the barn. And then he gets run up on by the Saghead guy. And we think he's dead, but he's really just taken hostage.
They just knocked him out, right? Yeah.
And then what happens? Then Kristen comes out and she's like, hey, shit, he's not coming back, you know? So then she thinks it's a good idea to make a run for the barn too.
Yeah.
But she hits like this fucked up moat thing that's been dug.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
And fucking messes up her ankle, which is like the worst possible like
scenario. Something that could happen to you.
Let me mess up my leg when I need to be able to, you know, leave this place. Like,
yeah.
That's a done deal right there. And then she makes it into the barn, and she actually makes it to the radio and gets a hold of somebody. And then of course they were watching her the whole time, and then they destroy the radio before she can get out any kind of real address or anything to help. And then what happens after that?
I think she goes back to the house, doesn't she? And then she hides in the little closet.
Oh yeah, in the pantry thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really cool setup shot. So the mask dude, sack dude, whatever you want to call him, he comes back through the front door where the piano is, and he plays this a couple notes, like ding 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 ding, and then he walks in, and she's standing right there behind him. But because I'm assuming maybe his mask, the peripheral vision is all fucked up, he doesn't realize anybody's there. So he kind of walks past her unknowingly, or maybe he does know she's there, and he just chooses to ignore her and see what she's going to do. So she slips into the pantry, and he's searching around for her. He goes in, he walks right next to the pantry. He sits down for a couple minutes, then gets up and walks away. And then she's about to get out, and then the other girl, the doll face,
jumps in front.
Yeah, and starts breaking the fencing that you have in the door. And basically, what do they do? Then they tie them up, right? Mm-hmm. And that's when we get that the infamous tagline, like, why are you doing this to us? Because
you were home.
Motives are incidental.
Yeah. And then when they take off their mask, that's a sign right there that letting them know, like, you're gonna see our faces, so we're gonna kill you. Basically.
There's
That's
those
the way I
ones.
took it. It's like, there's no reason to hide. I'm taking my mask off because now I'm going to kill you.
And they take turns fucking stabbing them.
Yeah.
Vicious stuff.
I remember watching that scene when they stab James and her, and like you see the knife go in, and it's just like, oh, like you could feel it in your gut.
Yeah, because you can think about how many inches that knife is, and it's going into flesh. It's fucked up. I mean, for them to go through that over and over again, because it wasn't one time. They're like taking turns on the. Ugh.
Gnarly.
Terrible fate. Especially for that dude, he just gets like raped twice.
Yeah.
He's already sad, and then it's just like, damn, can my life get any worse?
Got rejected by this proposal. Now I'm getting murdered.
And they do this this cool thing at the end where these two kids, they look like they're those religious kids that are trying to hand out
Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah, out, recruit people or whatever. And they, of course, the house is all messed up. The door is open. They walk up the front steps and they go in to investigate, and they see blood everywhere. And then it brings us back to the beginning of the film where they kind of call. They're doing like the 911 call, right? Where they're like, "Oh, help us! There's blood everywhere."
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they find Kristen's character. And she's all bloody. They think she's dead, and she wakes up, and that's the end of the film.
You forgot to say about the what's her name, Dollface, asking the boys like, "Oh, are you a sinner?"
Oh,
like, sometimes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You know why? I think I must have watched the regular one because I didn't see that.
Oh, really?
That wasn't in mine. It must have been in the unrated one. Because there's
that was right at the end.
So in the ending that you guys watched, because I guess there's an alternate ending where the phone rings and she wakes up, and supposedly everybody's gone and it's morning already, like bright outside, and she was crawling to answer the phone, and then the man in the mask comes out, takes the phone from her, and then like walks out the door and leaves her for dead again. That's not that you guys didn't see that, or you did see it?
That they go inside, yeah, and Kristen grabs one of the boys' hands, right?
Yeah.
And he just sleeps screaming.
But yeah, anyway, that's
one of the little boys goes to grab her, or touch her, and then she grabs him and screams, and that's when it cuts out.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I watched. But I heard that there's like one with one of the killers where he like she reaches for like a phone ringing, and then he comes out of nowhere and takes the phone from her and then leaves.
Oh, okay.
And that's the end of the movie. Interesting. Anything else about the first one before we do Swan Facts?
I don't have anything. No, I think we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah, ditto.
I wish there could have been a little bit more like of things that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if maybe it's just because there was a lack of characters, or at least protagonists, maybe. Because you can... I don't know.
Yeah. I can see that, yeah, because there's not as many, people to play off of.
Yeah, the lack of characters kind of makes the movie kind of straightforward already.
Mm-hmm.
So you really can't really do anything beyond that. And it covers one ground,
Mm-hmm.
So you can't really... I mean, yeah, I wish there was more details in it, but that's the simplicity of this movie. That's what makes it good.
Okay.
And I think the other thing too in the beginning, it even says that they're already dead. The couple,
Mm-hmm.
but and how it's unsolved. You remember that part?
I thought it was. They were saying that not them, not this. They don't give away our story that they're telling, but basically that these kind of scenarios happen all the time in America.
Well, I know it said in the year of something, a couple was brutally murdered, and the murder is still unsolved.
Oh, like what it's based up on or whatever?
I know it says it in the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm. But I'm saying, like, that's what... Because it says based on true events, right?
Yeah, but it also says... They also tell you basically what's going to happen in the movie. Because they say their names in the little, like, the heading. It says James and so-and-so were brutally murdered on the night of whatever the night was.
I just think it's weird because she's not dead.
Oh, I think she died, though.
Too much. The wounds were too much.
Oh, the trauma?
Yeah.
Maybe. What else? Swan facts?
Swan
facts.
Swan facts.
Alright, guys. The film is largely inspired by the book Helter Skelter, which is based on the Manson murders. Also, I believe he... the director said that he was inspired by a childhood memory where a woman walked up to their house and did the same thing, where she just said a random name, like, is so-and-so there? And they're like, no, and she's like, oh, okay.
And then I remember that they said that they ended up finding out that they were responsible for some break-ins around the neighborhood because they were knocking on doors, and if someone answered, then they didn't hit that house. But if nobody answered, then they would break in.
Casing, basically,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The budget for this was $9 million, and it went on to gross over $82 million.
Wow.
Success.
That's a crazy success.
That's great.
The masks were chosen by the director because he wanted a more simplistic style for them, basically where you could pick it up anywhere, like something you would probably see, like, you know, at what's those Halloween chains, Spirit or something like that,
like a Spirit or Party City and stuff like that.
Yeah, like a generic looking party favor mask, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it does its job where you're just, yeah. I think that's it's a good element of the film, the masks, you know.
Yeah, they could just be anybody.
The film is actually shot entirely on handheld cameras.
Really?
Oh, really? That's sick.
If you pay attention to like the camera work or the cinematography, you can tell it's a little shaky, and it's because they used no tripods, nothing like that.
That's cool.
Wow.
The actor Kurt Russell has stated before that this movie actually scares him. It was originally slated for summer 2007, but was delayed twice and premiered finally in May of 2008.
Do we know why the delays were?
I don't know. Maybe it had to do with the rating. Maybe that's
why. They went back to cut it, and then they probably got a new rating.
Maybe that's why, yeah. This was the working title for